tonight and next week, we'll just do a little bit more on this idea that we've been doing of the balance, the 10% front and back, with some side bending, because we've been doing it with twisting the last couple of weeks. And really twisting is the main injury thing that I notice when people are not balanced front to back. They take something out of the laundry or they pull something in a twist, and that's how they tweak their back. And that's why I went for that first. But I'll just finish up this series with the side bending. And the idea is having that sensation of that 10% co-activation on the front and the back line when you're side bending, which can really keep you from injury. So we're going to go ahead and start off like we have been on all fours. And I think I pinned the side view. Are you guys seeing that? Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and start on all fours again with this little hamstring movement that we've been doing, just to make sure the entire back arch is on all the way down to the heel. So you're just going to come onto all fours, and you're just going to try to get your navel right over the center line of your mat. And as we slide the right foot back, just try not to sit out into your left hip, because there's a tendency to collapse in the body. So just come over the center line and just try to slide your right heel back without collapsing into your left hip, and just tick-tock your right heel side to side for a moment, and see if you can feel all three hamstrings kind of waking up there. And then just pull that knee in. Keep your belly over the center line. Try not to collapse your hip out to the right. Slide your left foot back and just tuck your heel a little bit. See if you can roll that thigh, the back of your thigh, side to side, so that you can feel all those hamstrings, and then just come in for a landing. Again, you're just trying to keep your center line, your nose, your navel, your sternum right over the midline of your mat. And then just slide your right leg back without leaning out into your left hip. It should just be quite a bit of effort even to do that. And then you're going to let that right leg float up into the air, and then just pull in right heel to right glute, and just feel the back line warming up. And after you've done that a couple of times, just find your right foot in a pigeon toe, and just see if you can find that inner hamstring waking up a little bit. And then just find your right toe pointing out to the side, and find your outer hamstring a little bit at work there. And then just straighten out your foot again. Just wag your heel side to side again. Get your glute, your right glute working, your right hammies feeling that, and then just bring that in for a landing. Again, keep your navel over the center line. Don't sit out to the right side, but just slide your left leg back and allow it to float up into the air, and just start to pull your heel into your glute. Just feel the back line working. It's harder to get the left side to turn on usually. And after a couple of those, pull your right hip in, pull your right hip in, then turn left foot to pigeon toe, and keep pulling heel to glute. See if you can find that medial hamstring on. It's so much harder not to lean out to the right on this side in my body and in many people that I work with. And then turn your left toes out to the left and see if you can get the outer hamstring working. And then finally, just straighten your leg out and tick-tock your heel side to side, and see if you can get your left glute on. Feel those left hamstrings all engage, and then just bring that foot in for a landing, knee in for a landing, and take a dog cat tilt. And just go really stretchy at first. Just sink your belly down, lift the base of the skull up towards the top of the head, and then exhale and cat arch, and just be really gooey in your spine for a moment. And then go ahead and come to neutral spine. Curl your toes under, just hover your knees above the ground. Glue your knees together for a moment and just swing your knees side to side. Feel that twist in the body. And then land the knees down. Come into your dog cat. shoulder blades toward the pelvis, toward the spine, and in toward the rib cage. And then exhaling, cat arch, and wide apart between the shoulder blades, lift up your dolphin fin so it's hovering up above the water. And just keep 10% of your front line on while you bring your spine back to neutral. So you have the feeling, 10% feeling of the chin tuck and the deep belly while you're leveling out your spine. And then just tuck your toes under again, hover your knees, and then swing them. You're gonna go a little slower. You're not gonna go as far, probably. Side to side, you've got that 10% on now. You're kind of stabilizing the spine in the twist. And the next time your knees swing over toward the right, just let your left foot shoot out along the floor and feel that the twist at the same time that you've got a little engagement in the belly for 3, 2, 1, and then come back. Swing side to side, your knees are together. You got 10% on in the front line. And then next time you swing your knees to the left, just swoosh your right foot out to the left. 3, 2, 1, and then go ahead and come back onto all fours. Take a dog tilt, take a cat arch, gooey dog tilt, and gooey cat arch. And then just hold on to about 10% of your cat arch here while you level out your spine. Lift your tail slightly, lift the base of your skull. So you can still feel the action of the chin tuck and the deep belly like you're putting on a tight pair of pants, but only about 10%. And then you're just gonna lift your right foot up and step it outside your left leg shank and take your left ear to your left shoulder. So try not to give up your 10% front line compression, but open your side body more. Spread your right rib tips. Try not to hike your right shoulder up so much as just ventilate, breathe, bell out that right lung. Push your right heel away from you for 3, and 2, and 1. And then just come back. Inhale, give yourself a gooey dog tilt and a gooey cat arch, and then just hold on here to about 10% of your cat arch while you flatten out your spine, lift your tail slightly, elevate the base of the skull. Don't give up that 10%, and then just pick up your left foot and step it outside your right leg shank and take your right ear to your right shoulder. And try not to hike up your left shoulder blade, but just see if you can spread your left rib tips apart and lean your left ribs out to the left for 3, and 2. Push your left heel away from you. And 1, and then come back to center and go ahead and take your blocks under your hands and walk your feet all the way up to the front of the mat. Turn your palms over. Spread your thumb and your pinky apart. And then just take your feet a little bit wider apart and make a circle with your tail, like you're stirring your wrist with your forearms for 3, and 2, and 1, and then go the other direction for 3, and 2, and 1, and then take your palms down, reach your thumbs out to the side, bend your elbows. See if you can leave your fingers flat on your blocks and lift your palms up. Really stretch your thumbs out to the sides for 3, and 2, and 1, and then just peel your hands up and shake them out a little bit. And then go ahead and step your right foot back. Take an easy inhale as you exhale, slightly straighten your front leg, cat arch your back, let your head go. Try not to let your shoulder blades drag down like that, but keep reaching them toward the pelvis, and then lift and spread your left toes and fan your left foot side to side. You're pulling back your left hip and you're pushing your left heel into the mat for 3, and 2, and 1. And then as you take your right knee down, you're going to let your left knee come as much in front of your left ankle as it wants to. And if you want to leave your right knee up, that's okay with me. We're going to take a sitting bone circle with the left sitting bone. The right hip is going to move, but it's very passive. It's the left sitting bone that's working. And then go the other direction for 3 and 2 and 1. Now drop the right knee down and joint stack your right hip over your right knee. And then just notice the left edge of sacrum being a little bit ahead of the right edge, and draw it back and sink your left sitting bone down. So you're trying to equilibrate the pelvis so it's as even as possible, side to side, top to bottom, and just tune into your right glute and your right hammy, stabilizing. You could even tick-tock your right heel a little bit to remind it of what we were doing earlier. And then we're just going to swing the arms, but let's actually lean forward for a moment. So just cat arch a little bit, tuck chin, collarbones to sternum, deep belly on, and just keep about 10% of that, and then roll up and swing your arms. So this is, again, the opposite of what we were doing last month. We're swinging, leading with the belly. Now we're keeping the belly pretty still, but we're moving the shoulder girdle. Now just keep swinging your arms, but this time we're going to take both arms over to the left and both arms over towards the right. We're still keeping the navel kind of still, and we're still keeping that 10% front line on so we can feel that stabilizing us. And then just see if you can add your gaze in the direction that your hands are going. Might destabilize you a little bit, but just see if you can follow with your gaze. For 3 and 2 and 1, and then let that go and let your right palm face forward and elevate up, and then just don't let go of your 10% front line, but just lean over towards the left. Your left hand's on your left thigh, and it's kind of stabilizing you. See if you can keep your right shoulder blade from getting too high, but spreading apart your right rib tips. Now, if you feel pretty stable there, go ahead and drop your left hand down alongside your body and try to get your stability from the chin tuck down to the deep belly. 3, 2, and 1. And then release and curl your right toes under. Exhale, cat arching, and take your left foot 45 degrees out to the side this time. Lift and spread your left toes, fan your foot side to side. Just tune into this area right under the inseam of your leggings and see if you can drop your fingers in there and separate your adductor from your medial hamstring. 3, 2, and 1. And again, we'll just come down. Your right knee can be down or up. Your left knee can be in front of your left ankle, and just take a sitting bone circle there and go the other direction. And then drop your right knee down and back up your right hip so it's right over your right knee. And then curl forward a little bit. So chin tuck, collarbone to sternum, sternum to navel, and deep belly on. And then just as you unfurl, try to keep about 10% of that front line aware, and take your right block back behind you so it's at 180 degrees from your front thigh. Left arm alongside ear. And here we are with that front line on, a little twist over toward the right, and we're just feeling how that feels in the body to have that engagement in the belly while we're twisting. And then we're going to turn the navel up to the ceiling and take the concentration into the back arch. So I really want to tune into my right glute, my right hammy. I could tick-tock my right heel. And then I want to take my right shoulder blade toward the pelvis, toward the spine, and in toward the back of the rib cage. And just feel the stability of that right back arch. If I feel comfortable here, I could pick up my left heel, or I could even take my left knee into my left hand. I can straighten the leg if I want to. That's not the focus today, but if you feel like doing that, it's okay with me. 3, 2, and 1. And then just slowly land that left foot. Come out by tucking your chin, collarbone to sternum, sternum to navel, deep belly, and then let your right hand come back around to the front, and then just tuck your toes under. Exhale, cat arching, and this time your left foot's going to be along the left edge of the mat, and your right foot's going to be along the right edge of the mat. Lift and spread your left toes, and then fan your foot side to side one more time. For 3, and 2, and 1, and then bending knees. We're going to take our last set of sitting bone circles on this side, and then go the other direction. And then right knee comes down. We're going to engage this chin tuck, collarbone to sternum, sternum to navel, deep belly. And as I unfurl, I'm going to keep about 10% of that front line on and just take that block back behind me so it's at a 180 to my front thigh. And if that feels tippy, I can just bring my block further out to the side. That's fine. And we'll start with the arm alongside the ear, feeling that front line on while we're turning the belly. And just reach those left fingertips, spread those left rib tips for 3, and 2, and 1. And then just take a look up and go after that right back arch. So right glute, right hammy, you could tick-tock your heel, take your right shoulder blade toward the pelvis, toward the spine, and in toward the rib cage. And let your stability be in that back arch. And then stay there, or lift up your left heel, or lift up your left knee, or straighten your left leg for 3, and 2, and 1. And then just let that left leg come down, come out of it by tucking chin, collarbones to sternum, sternum to navel, deep belly. As you bring your right hand back around, curl your right toes under, and exhale, cat arching. 3, 2, and 1. And then we're just going to step the left leg back and just feel what it's like to be in the danda for a moment. Pull the hip crest forward, reach the heels back until your quads get tight and you can squeeze your knees, and then really lift up your dolphin fin between your shoulder blades and lift the base of the skull up toward the ceiling. You're trying to get that thoracic spine to round up toward the ceiling for 3, and 2, and 1. And then step the right foot forward. Take an easy inhale. As you exhale, slightly straighten your front leg, cat arch your back, let your head go. Lift and spread your right toes and fan them side to side. And as you pull your right hip back, push your right heel into the floor for 3, and 2, and 1. And then we're going to bend both knees. The left knee could come down or it could stay up, and the right knee is going to come in front of the right ankle as much as it wants to. We're going to take a little sitting bone circle. Just reach your right sitting bone away from the midline. Look, it's trying to reach away from the perineal body. Go the other direction. 3, 2, and 1. And then we're going to take the left knee down and joint stack the left hip over the left knee. And we're going to find the right edge of the sacrum. It's a little bit in front of the left edge, and we're just going to drop it back and sink that right sitting bone down. We're looking for activity in the left glute and the left hammy. We could even tick-tock that left heel a little bit to try to make sure that back line of the left leg is on. And then just curl down, chin, collarbone, sternum, deep belly. Keep about 10% of that on as you unfurl your head and swing your arms. And again, this is the opposite of what we were doing last month, a couple months ago. 3, 2, 1. Now keep that awareness in your front line and take both arms same direction. Just keep that stability in the front line. And then just add your eyes in the direction that your hands are going. asking a little bit more of that body stabilization from the front for 3 and 2 and 1, and then curl left toes under. Exhale, cat arching. We're going to take our right foot out 45 degrees to the right. Lift and spread your toes, fan your foot side to side. See if you can find a little tightness on that inseam line. Drop your fingers between the adductors and the medial hammy and just loosen up there a little bit. 3, 2, 1, and then both knees are going to come down. We're going to make a sitting bone circle. See if you can notice which side has more tension in the transverse perineum between your sitting bone and the middle of your pelvic floor. Go the other direction. 3, 2, and 1. And then the left knee is going to come down. Just tuck your chin and drop your collarbones to your sternum. Find about 10% of that front line staying on as you unfurl and take that left hand back behind you at a 180 with the front thigh. And then right arm alongside ear, and just feel that front line a little bit engaged while you're turning the belly, turning. You're spreading your right rib tips. 3, 2, 1, and then navel up to sky. Go after that left back arch. Tick-tock your left heel, left glute is on, and then pull your left shoulder blade down the back toward the spine and in toward the rib cage. And then if you can, if you want to, you could lift your right heel. And if you want to, you could pick up your right knee into your hand. And if you want to, you could straighten your leg. Left glute, harder to get on in many people. 3, 2, and 1. And as you lightly take this foot down to the ground, tuck chin, collarbones to sternum, sternum to navel, deep belly, front line is working as we get out of this. And then we're going to take the right foot alongside the right edge of the mat and the left foot alongside the left edge of the mat as we exhale, cat arching, and then lift and spread your right toes and fan that foot side to side. 3, 2, and 1, and then last set of sitting bone circles on this side. Go the other way. 3, 2, 1. Now the left knee is going to come down, and I'm going to curl in, chin tuck, collarbone, deep belly. I'm going to keep about 10% of that on as I unfurl and take that block back behind me in a 180. If that's too deep, you can just take that left, block out to the side again. Right arm alongside ear, belly is turned, right rib tips are spreading, and then just stay, left back arch. So left glute, left heel tick-tock, take your left shoulder blade down the back toward the spine and in toward the rib cage. And then stay there or pick up the right heel or pick up the right knee into the right hand for 3 and 2 and 1. And then as you gently put that foot down, curl in. And then exhale, cat arching for 3 and 2 and 1. And then step the right foot back. Pull your hip crest forward, reach your heels back. Lift up between the shoulder blades, pick base of skull up. See if you can sew your navel up to your spine and draw it up under your rib cage for 3 and 2 and 1. And then the left leg steps forward and the right knee comes down. Joint stack your right hip over your right knee. And just kind of make sure or imagine that you have a rolled up blanket there and see if you can kind of lift up and over as you reach for your Ardha Hanuman. Press into your left big toe mound. You can fan that foot side to side again for 3 and 2 and 1. And then walk your left foot 45 degrees out to the left and walk your blocks over toward the right.
Let your left block walk a little further than your right block and pin your hips over to the left side of the mat. Go for length on that left side body, especially between the lowest left rib and the left hip crest. Stretch, breathe into bottom tip of left shoulder blade for 3, 2, and 1. Now, keep about 10% of your front line contraction on here, chin tuck and collarbone. Just hold on to that while you firm into your right hand and elevate your left hand up to the sky. Now you've got that twist going at the same time that you've got the front line active. And then just lift your shoulder blade up towards your ear and then drop it behind and open your palm up to the sky. And then exhale, lift your shoulder blade up and drop it forward with your palm turning under. Inhale and open, rainbow your shoulder top up and over, and then exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. And now take that left arm alongside your ear, drop your right ear down alongside your right shoulder. Keep your 10% on in your front spine, but just elongate that left side even more for 3, and 2, and 1. And then elevate left arm up to sky. Reach into your fingertips and see if you can reach your left shoulder blade as far away from the spine as you can get it. And then drop your left hand down, collect your block and walk it underneath your right forearm. Flip your palm over. Your shoulder blade's already walked away from the spine, and pull it towards the front of the mat for 3, and 2, and 1. And then collect your block, but pull your shoulder blade in towards your spine as you unfurl and walk around to the front of your mat. Your left foot's going to come straight back ahead, and then walk your blocks over to the outside of that leg. Let your right block walk further than your left block. Try not to hike your right shoulder blade up, but creep your fingertips forward from the bottommost rib. For 3, breathe into right rib cage. And 2, and 1. And then go ahead and return to the center and turn toward the right side of your mat. Here you are in your Parigasan. And you're just going to take your right hand down to the fingertips and take your left arm alongside the ear. And just drape your right ear down and feel the spreading of those left rib tips again. Elongate that side. 3, 2, and 1. And then look down at your right hand. Let your left hand just kind of drape down for a moment. And go after your front line compression. So tuck your chin, reach your collarbones to sternum, sternum to navel, deep belly. And keep about 10% of that on. And then re-extend your left arm up to the sky. Reach a little bit away from your shoulder blade. Now just be aware of that 10% of your front line on, and see if you can get your back line going on the right side. So right glute, tick-tock your right heel a little bit. Pull your right shoulder blade down the back toward the spine and in toward the rib cage. Now we've got maybe 10% co-activation on the front and the back line. And then you just want to kind of hover your left foot in the air. Just feel what it's like to have that stability co-activation on the front and the back line. While you've got that left foot hovering, and then you want to kind of come up to the very tip of your middle finger on your right hand. And again, just feel the stability from this co-activation. Maybe 10%, front line and back line. And then just go ahead and loose yourself from the earth. So you're going to wobble around. Your foot might touch down, your hand might touch down. Just see how much you can stay balanced in that front line and back line while you're trying to keep 3 limbs off the earth. For 3, and 2, and 1. And then let that go and let that left arm come alongside the ear again. Really elongate that left side body now. 3, 2, 1. Elevate the left arm up to the sky, reach into the fingertips and reach the shoulder blade away from the spine a little bit. You still got your front line and your back line on. Come back up to the tips, and this time you're just gonna circle that right arm up, left arm down. You're coming into a side bend. I'm trying to be aware of that front 10%, a little bit of back line on as well. And then I'm just gonna come up. This time as I come down, I'm not gonna drop my right fingers down. I'm just gonna take them into that little ballet shape or Olay shape or something. And then inhale your way up and exhale your way down. Now don't give up your 10% on the front or back line. Just be aware of that as we're moving the side body so that your body can remember this when you're doing something. You're leaning side to side, but you're stabilizing. 3, 2, and 1. And then as you windmill your right hand down, turn towards the back of your mat and come downward facing dog. Lengthen both sides of the waist. Reach both edges of the pelvis back for 3, and 2, and 1. Now bend your knees, and as you hover them over the ground, just keep reaching your sitting bones back so you're in a little bit of a crouch here for 3, and 2, and 1. And then just leave your left foot on the ground, but let your right thigh marry the belly as you launch up on the ball of the foot and take the shoulders forward over the wrists. Really good for your cat arch. So can you tuck your chin? Try not to elevate your shoulder blades towards your ears, but reach them towards the pelvis. Can you reach your collarbones to your sternum to your navel? Can you get your deep belly on for 3, and 2, and 1. And then go ahead and step your right foot in between the hands and drop the left knee down. Collect your blocks. Roll your imaginary blanket and come up and over it with your belly as you push your right big toe mound forward, and you could fan that foot side to side for 3, and 2, and 1. Now I'm going to take my blocks to the left and my right foot to the right, so it's at a 45-degree angle off to the side of my mat. And then I'm going to walk my right block a little further than my left block and pin my pelvis over towards the right side. I'm trying not to elevate my right shoulder top, but instead spread my right rib tips and breathe into that bottom of the right scap for 3, and 2, and 1. And while I'm here, I've got my chin tucked and my front arch on a little bit. I want to keep about 10% of that on as I firm into the left hand and unfurl that right arm up to the sky, reach into my fingertips and even reach my right shoulder blade away from the right edge of my spine a little bit here for 3, and 2, and 1. And then I'm going to lift up my shoulder blade and open my palm to the back on the inhalation. Lift up my shoulder blade and exhale my palm down. And then inhale it open. Exhale it closed. And I'm kind of rainbowing up the outer edge of my shoulder and down on each inhale and exhale for 3, and 2, and 1. And then just all alongside the ear, let left ear drape to left shoulder, spread right rib tips, 3, keeping front line on, 2, and 1. And then inhale that hand back up, keep reaching from the shoulder blade away from the spine, and then drop it down, collect your block and take it underneath your left forearm, flip your right palm. The shoulder blade's already reaching away from the spine, but now reach it towards the front of the mat for 3 and 2 and 1. And then collect your block, but pull your shoulder blade toward the spine as you unwind and come forward. The foot's gonna come straight ahead, and then I'm just gonna leap over it and skip to the other side. The left block is gonna walk further than my right block, and I'm spreading left rib tips and breathing left lung wide for 3, 2, and 1. And then I'm just gonna come back and I'm gonna turn all the way around so that I'm facing the right side of my mat again. And here I am in my pariga. And I just want to be aware of this. Oh, I think I did it down there. So set your left fingertips down on the mat. Take your right arm alongside the ear. Drape your left ear down and just spread your right rib tips for a moment. 3, 2, 1. Now turn down, let your right hand drape down and go after your front line. So tuck chin, collarbones to sternum to navel, deep belly. And keep about 10% of that on as you unfurl your right hand back up to the sky. And then you're going to go after your back arch a little bit. So really try to turn on your left glute. Tick-tock your left heel to get those hammies on. Pull your left shoulder blade down the back toward the spine and in towards the back of the rib cage. And just see if you can have 10% of that front line and 10% of that back line, stabilizing your spine while you lift up your right foot. And just feel what that's like. It's harder on this side to get that left glute to play. And then just see if you can keep that 10% on the front line and the back line while you come up to the tip of your middle finger, and then just loose that hand. And again, you're just trying to keep 3 limbs off the earth. You're going to wobble around a little bit. It's okay. Just feeling what it's like. Front line and back line stabilizing the body. 3, 2, and 1. And then let that go and let the right arm come alongside the ear again. Rainbow the right ribs up to the sky. You still have about 10% of your front line, 10% of your back line on. And then you're going to reach that arm up. Reach from your shoulder blade, like your shoulder blade's reaching away from your spine as you come up. Left arm comes alongside ear and right arm tucks in, like you're going to say Olé at a bullfight. And then inhale and exhale your way over, but don't let your left hand touch the floor this time. Just go for that stability, that 10% co-activation of your front body and your back body. You could try internally rotating your left thigh a little bit if you can't get your left glute on, and that might help you. All right, for 3, and 2, and 1. And then the left hand's going to come all the way down. The right hand's going to come all the way down. I'm going to step my left foot back, downward facing dog. Lengthen and extend the side bodies. I'm wrapping shoulder blades apart here, but dropping thumbs into mat. Lifting sitting bones. 3, 2, 1. Now I'm going to bend and hover my knees and reach my tail back, so I'm crouching down. And this time I'm going to leave my right ball of foot stuck to the mat, and I'm going to marry my left thigh to the belly as I draw my shoulders forward over my wrist, and then go after my cat arch. So really tuck your chin. Take your collarbones to your sternum to your navel, and you get your deep belly really activating like you're trying to pull on a tight pair of pants for 3, and 2, and 1. And then I'm just going to step my left foot in between my hands and go ahead and hop my right foot forward a little bit. And then I'm going to block my left foot. I'm trying to get the whole sole, no, not the whole sole, the whole ball of my left foot up and over the edge of the mat. And then I'm just going to inhale and roll up through the right big toe mound and arch the foot. And then I'm going to exhale and drop the heel towards the mat and try to find the middle of the heel strike. And then I'm going to inhale and roll up and arch the foot. And then I'm going to exhale and drop down into the middle of my heel strike. And then one more time, inhale and roll up. And exhale and come down, and then I can stay there. Or I could step my right foot forward a little bit or a lot. And I'm just going to inhale and lift my tail, reach my sternum forward, and exhale, drop the outer left heel into the mat as the hips shift slightly to the left. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then I'm going to inhale back to center and exhale the inner left heel down into the mat. My hips are going to shift slightly to the right. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then I'm just going to go side to side with the pelvis, opening up, a little dynamic stretch in the calf for 3 and 2 and 1. And then all the way into the right foot, I'm going to just turn the block, get my left heel on the block so it's parallel to the right toes. Toes are parallel. And walk my other block over towards the right, reach my left hand a little further than my right hand. I'm going to straighten my left knee any amount and press my hips over toward the left. Breathing left side body for 3 and 2 and 1. And then rebend your left knee. Get a hold of your 10% cat arch with your chin tuck, collarbone, sternum, deep belly. Just hold on to about 10% of that. Bury your right hand into your block and then lift your left arm up to sky. Feel what it's like to be stabilizing yourself from that belly, 10% front line while your arm is up, and reach your shoulder blade away as you reach your fingertips up a little higher. 3, 2 and 1. And then left arm alongside ear, reaching away, and then drop it back down. Take your right block over to the right side of the mat, put your fingertips on it and step your right foot back. Swing forward into your dog tilt and exhale into a stretchy cat arch. And then swing forward into your dog tilt, and this time activate your right glute, tick-tock your right heel, take your shoulder blades down the back toward the spine and in toward the rib cage as you're lifting the base of the skull towards the top of the head for 3 and 2 and 1. And just try to keep about 10% of that back arch on as you take your chin to a tuck, reach your collarbones to your sternum, sternum to navel, deep belly. Feel that co-activation, and then swing through to your cat arch, but you still are trying to keep a little bit of the back line active. Your deep belly is going to stay 10% on as you come back toward the dog tilt. Don't lose your front line altogether. 3, 2, 1. Don't lose your back line altogether as you come back toward the cat arch. 3, 2, 1. Now drop your knee down, take your block down a little bit. Keep that front line compression and elevate that left hand. Reach from your left shoulder blade away from the spine for 3 and 2 and 1. And then come all the way up. Right arm alongside ear. Still concentrating on this front line. I can have my left hand on my left thigh for stability, or if I feel pretty good here, I can just let that left hand drape down towards the floor, spreading right ribs, reaching right waist long, little stability in the front spine. 3, 2, and 1. And then I'm just going to release out of there and take my left hand creeping forward, 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 and then just reach my right knee a little further, further back and sink my left sitting bone down. 3, 2, 1. And then I'm going to tuck my left hand into that left arch, take my other block down a notch, curl my right toes under, and lift the back of my right knee. And I just want to lift up between my shoulder blades, but sink my left sitting bone down a little bit. I can take a little sitting bone circle here if I want to. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then I'm just going to step my left foot back. I'm in downward facing dog. My hands are on the blocks. I'm elongating my side body for 3 and 2 and 1. And then I'm going to bend my knees and hover my knees above the floor while I take my tail back. And I'm in this little crouching position again for 3, 2, 1. And I want to leave my left ball of foot on the ground. I'm going to marry my right thigh to the belly as I come forward, shoulders over wrists. And I'm going to go after my cat arch. So I'm going to really tuck my chin, collarbones to sternum, sternum to navel, deep belly. 3, 2, and 1. And then I'm just going to step my right foot forward. I'm going to hop my left foot in a little bit and then block my right foot. I'm going to try to get the whole ball of the foot up and over the edge of the block. And then I'm going to inhale and draw up my left heel, roll through the ball of the left foot, and exhale and drop down into the middle of the heel strike. Inhale and roll up and arch the foot, and exhale and roll down to the middle of the heel strike. Inhale and roll up, exhale and roll down. And then I'm going to hang out there or step forward a little bit or a lot. Inhale, look halfway up, reach sternum forward. Exhale, drop outer right heel into mat. Let hips come over towards the right for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, center, and exhale, drop into inner right heel. Hips go to the left for 3, 2, and 1. And then just go side to side for 3, and 2, and 1. And then all the weight in the left foot, I'm just going to turn that block, take my right heel on it so the toes are parallel, and walk my left block over towards the left. Reach my right arm further than my left arm, straighten right leg any amount, reach hips over towards right. Breathe into right side body for 3, and 2, and 1. And while my chin is tucked and I've got a little bit of front line here, I'm going to go ahead and firm my left hand into the block and sky the right hand up. Reach from inner shoulder blade away from the spine. 3, 2, 1. And even take that arm alongside the ear and extend side body for a moment, and then drop it down. Take left block onto mat, left fingertips on, right elbow onto right thigh, and swing into the dog tilt. And exhale into a stretchy cat arch. And then this time as I inhale and swing into the dog tilt, I'm really going to try to activate that back arch. So get the left glute on, left heel tick-tocks, shoulder blades come down toward the spine and toward the rib cage. And I want to keep about 10% of that on as I exhale and cat arch. Chin rolls down, collarbone, sternum, deep belly. And I want to keep about 10% of that front line on as I come back towards the back, towards the dog tilt. And 10% of the back line as I come towards the front. And then I'm going to take that left knee down onto the mat, scooch my right fingertips forward, scooch my left knee back, and just sink down into my right sitting bone. 3, 2, and 1. And then I'm going to take my right hand and tuck it in to my right arch of foot. Left block comes down a little bit, and then curl my left toes under. And I just want to reach up between my shoulder blades and then sink my right sitting bone down. Take a little sitting bone circle if I feel like it. For 3, and 2, and 1. And then I'm just going to step my right foot back, downward facing dog, hands on blocks, elongating sides for 3 and 2 and 1. Hover the knees, reach your tail back so you're in that little crouch for 3 and 2 and 1. Now keep your right ball of foot glued to the mat. Let your left belly marry your thigh. Kick your shoulders forward over your wrist. Tuck chin, collarbones to sternum, sternum to navel, deep belly. 3, 2, and 1. And then let your left foot step forward. Take your blocks up. Right hip reaches forward. Right heel reaches back until your right quad is tight. Squeeze your right knee. Make sure your tail is going straight back behind you. And then pull your blocks towards the back mat. Tuck your chin, find that front line, and keep it on about 10% as you roll yourself all the way up. You want to kind of equilibrate your pelvis and bend your right knee. 3, 2, and 1. Now just hold on to that front line a little bit. Be aware of your back line with your glute and your heel tick-tocking, and then just swing your arms both to the left and both to the right. You're stabilizing with the front body, the back body. And just see if you can take your gaze along with your hands. For 3, and 2, and 1. And then let that right arm come alongside the ear. You can stabilize your left hand as you lean over, or if you feel pretty stable there, you can drop down. You've got the front line on, you've got the back line working. 3, 2, and 1. And then release your right hand down. Drop your right heel down into the mat. It can be a little bit in front of your left heel. So in other words, your left heel is not hitting the middle of your right arch. It's just going behind it. You got your right hand onto your block. Tuck chin, collarbones to sternum, sternum to navel, deep belly. Find your 10% front line. Keep it on. Come onto your fingertips and take your left arm alongside your ear. And then just begin to feel the back line come on as you reach your shoulder blades toward the spine, toward the pelvis, right glute on. Tick-tock your right heel a little bit just to feel that back line. And if it's there for you, take your right arm alongside your ear as well. You should really be working here. 3, 2, and 1. And then take your hands down, straighten your left leg any amount, lift and spread your left toes, and fan your left foot side to side. For 3, 2, and 1. Now take your block onto its lowest. You could either stay up here, or if you have a little space for it, you can drop your forearms down inside of that left knee. Tuck chin, collarbones to sternum, sternum to navel, deep belly. Get that 10% of your front line staying on. And then keep your right elbow down, but take your left arm alongside your ear. Start to find your back line. Draw your shoulder blades together, down the back, right glute, right heel is tick-tocking. If this is too much for you, you can just come back up on your fingertips like we were doing before, or you can stay low, right arm alongside ear. For 3, and 2, and 1. And then take your hands down, step your left foot back. You're in down dog on the blocks or child's pose, your choice. Take a little rest. For 3, and 2, and 1. And wherever wherever you are, come up on all fours. Your hands are on the blocks. Inhale, dog tilt. Exhale, cat arch. Inhale, dog tilt. Exhale, cat arch. Inhale, dog tilt. Exhale, cat arch. And then just go ahead and press back, downward facing dog. Lengthening out side body for 3 and 2 and 1. And then hover your knees an inch above the ground, reach your hips back. 3, 2, 1. Firm your left ball of foot into the ground. Marry your right thigh to your belly as you bring your shoulders forward over your wrist. Tuck chin, collarbones to sternum, sternum to navel, deep belly. 3, 2, 1. Now step your right foot forward. Take your blocks up a little higher. Draw your left hip crest forward, your left heel back until your left quad gets tighter. You could squeeze your left knee. Make sure your tail is going straight back behind you, and then make the action of pulling your blocks towards the back mat. And then tuck chin, find 10% of that front line on as you rise up, unfurl, drop your left knee. Here you are bulldogging a little bit. Your hips are equilibrated. And we're just gonna swing the arms, stabilizing from the belly. And if you want to, you can add your eyes in the direction. It's gonna destabilize you a little bit, that's normal. 3, 2, and 1. And then just drop your hands down. Let your left heel come down on the mat. It's not going to be behind your right heel. It's a little bit to the left of it. And you've got your left hand, your left fingertips on your left block. So go after that front line again. And then take your right arm alongside your ear. Get your back line going. So your shoulder blades toward the spine, toward the pelvis, in toward the rib cage. Turn on your left glute, tick-tock your left heel. See if you can find that left hamstring active. And then if it's there for you, you could take your left arm alongside the ear. For 3, and 2, and 1. And then just take your hands down, straighten your front leg any amount. Fan your foot side to side. For 3, and 2. And 1, and then just drop down onto a block with your elbows or with your hands. You don't need to go that low, just wherever it feels comfy to you. And then just take your right arm alongside your ear. 10% on your front line is still active. We're going to start to work the back line. So take the shoulder blades toward the spine, toward the pelvis, and in toward the rib cage. And then left glute on, tick-tock your left heel. Now you can either come up onto your left fingertips, or you could stay down and take your left arm alongside the ear. For 3, and 2, and 1. And then release, come all the way down. Step your right foot back, come to all fours, and dog cat. For 3, and 2, and 1. And then just take a little child's pose and take a couple of breaths. For 3, and 2, and 1. And then just come all the way down onto your belly. Take your head onto your stacked hands. Three, two, and one. And then just press up to Sphinx and really reach your navel forward away from your pubic bone. Just get some elongation. We've been working that line, opening front line. And now go after your back arch. So bend your knees. Your heels are pulling down towards your glutes. Tick-tock your heels, get your hamstrings on, tighten your glutes up. Draw your shoulder blades down the back toward the spine and in toward the rib cage. And just feel that back line working. And then see if you can pick up your elbows and be on your fingertips. Nice. And then just see if you can pick up your hands and take them back without changing your upper body very much. Danyara. 3, 2, and 1. And then drop down. Take your pelvis side to side. 3, 2, and 1. Stay there, or if you want to do one more, come up into Sphinx. Just concentrate on your back line. Bend your knees, pull your heels to your glutes. Tick-tock your heels. See if you can get your glutes and your hammies on. Draw your shoulder blades down the back toward the spine and in toward the rib cage. And then just see if you can keep your back line on while you lift your elbows to your fingertips. And then stay there, or see if you can take your hands back without changing where your sternum is and your chin is towards the floor. 3, 2, and 1. And then release. Go slowly back. Very slowly. Press back, child's pose. 3, 2, and 1. And then come up on all fours. And again, take that dog cat. For 3, and 2, and 1. All right, now we're going to take a little bit of an inversion. So just turn over and get your legs up the wall, or feel free to take a shirsha if you'd like one. It's up to you. For 3, and 2, and 1. And then just roll over on your side. Press yourself up to seated. And then lie down on your back with your knees in your chest. And just start to make some circles in one direction, one hand on each knee. Like there's a plate on the back edge of your sacrum and you're just rolling around on one point of the rim until you've made the full circle. And then just start to make your circle a little larger so it includes your low back. And then finally make your circle the biggest circle you can make so it's reaching up towards the base of your rib cage. For 3. And 2. And 1. And then just to bring that to stillness, and then start to make a little circle the other direction. Like there's a plate on the back of your sacrum, you're just rocking around the rim of it. And then just begin to enlarge in your circle so it begins to take in your low back. And finally make the biggest circle that you can make so it's coming all the way up to the bottom of the rib cage. For 3. And 2. And 1. And then just drop your feet down, mat width apart. Take an easy inhale, and as you exhale, drop your right knee towards your left instep. Reach your knee towards the foot on the mat. Arch your back. 3, 2, 1. On your next inhalation, drop your right hip so deeply into the mat that your right knee starts to come up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, reach your left knee towards your right instep. Reach your knee towards the foot of the mat. Arch your left back. 3, 2, 1. On your next inhalation, drop your left hip down so much that your left knee comes up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, take your right knee towards your left instep. Reach your knee and arch your back. Let your right shoulder blade come down toward the pelvis. 3, 2, 1. As you inhale, sink your right hip so deeply into the mat that your right knee starts to come up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, take your left knee towards your right instep. Reach your knee away, arch your back. Take your left shoulder blade down the back toward the spine and in towards the rib cage. 3, 2, 1. As you inhale, drop your left hip down so much that your left knee starts to come up towards the ceiling. And one more set like that. Right knee comes down, reach it away, arch the back, draw the shoulder blade down. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, sink the right hip down, lift the right knee. Exhale, left knee comes to right instep. Then reach the knee towards the foot of the mat, arch the left back, pull the left shoulder blade down. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, sink the left hip until the left knee starts to rise. And now just find your alpha ball. And we're just going to take it right below the bottom right rib on the right side of the back. And just come down, bend knees, place feet on the floor, lift hips, and go side to side right underneath the rib cage. For 3, and 2, and 1. And then next time you're parked up against the right edge of the spine, take all the weight into your left foot, right ankle bone to left thigh, reach your right knee away, push into your left heel and chug head to foot. For 3, and 2, and 1. one, and then release your right foot. Roll the ball down so it's right in the center of your back. If you can get it so it's not touching the bottom of your rib cage or the top of your pelvis, go for it. If not, it's okay. And then just go side to side for 3 and 2 and 1. And next time you're parked up against the right edge of the spine, take all the weight into your left foot, take your right ankle bone to your left thigh, reach your right knee away and chug for 3 and 2 and 1. And then just take your right foot down, roll down so you're like right above the pelvis, like a ball on a track, and just go side to side. And next time you're up against the right edge of the spine, just take some pelvic tilts and see if you can roll that ball toward the tail as it drops, and then back up into the lumbar spine as you cat arch for 3 and 2 and 1. And then just roll that ball right into your right glute. Find a little owie spot. Lift your right knee in the air and take it in a circle. If you need more sensation, you can lift your left heel. You can glue your knees together. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then shoot your right leg out long. Turn your navel 45 degrees to the right. Stay there, or come up onto your right forearm. Bury the outer edge of your right foot into the mat. Bend and straighten your right knee. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then turn 45 degrees more so you're facing the side wall, and just roll a little donut hole, a donut shape around your greater trochanter. 3, 2 and 1. Step your left foot in front of your right thigh. Turn your navel 45 degrees towards the floor and just roll around right at the top of your IT band in front of it, like you've got your ball in the change pocket of your jeans. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then roll that ball up into the right side waist. Inhale, puff your belly towards the ball. Exhale, sink down on it. Inhale, puff up. Exhale, sink down. Inhale, puff up. Exhale, sink down. Inhale, puff up. Exhale, sink down. And then just try to keep as much weight as you can on the ball while you're taking a little dog tilt and cat arch. See if you can get that ball to wend its way into the edge of your visceral cavity a little bit more deeply. For 3 and 2 and 1. Then step your left foot behind your left thigh, turn your navel 45 degrees up toward the ceiling, and just roll the ball into and out of the edge of the back of your side or the side of your back. 3, 2 and 1. And then when you're ready, just lie flat on your back for a moment and notice any change between the right and the left sides in the integration of the right side from the sole of the foot to the shoulder top. And just notice how it's lying on the mat in comparison to the left foot, left side of your body.
And then take your time, but whenever you're ready, you're just gonna take that ball underneath the leftmost rib, left side of the back. You're gonna go bend your knees, place your feet on the floor, and just go side to side. And just notice how you keep your tension in the body, which side of the QL is more tight. For 3 and 2 and 1. And next time you're up against the left side of the spine, take all the weight into the right foot, left ankle bone to right thigh, reach your left knee away and chug. Just feel that core insertion of the psoas. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then roll down a little bit. If you can find a space where you're not touching the pelvis and not touching the rib cage, that's great. If not, don't worry, but just go side to side, right in the belly of the QL. 3, 2, and 1. Next time you're up against the left edge of the spine, take all the weight into the right foot, left ankle bone to right thigh, reach the left knee away and chug. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then roll the ball down like you're right above the pelvic rim, like a ball on a track, and just roll side to side. Three, 2, 1. Next time you're up against the left edge of the spine, just take a little dog tilt, cat arch, and see if you can roll the ball toward the tail as you dog tilt and drop the tail down. And see if you can roll the ball toward the lumbar spine as you cat arch and lift the tail up. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then just roll the ball down into your left glute, lift your left knee in the air. Take a little circle with that knee. You can pick up your right heel or glue your left knee to your right knee. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then shoot your left leg out. Turn your navel 45 degrees to the left. Stay down there or come up on your left forearm. Bury the outer edge of your left foot into the mat and bend and straighten your left knee. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then turn 45 degrees more so you're on the outer
face of your hip and just make a circle around your greater trochanter. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then step your right foot in front of your left thigh. Turn your navel 45 degrees down towards the floor. Just roll a little bit right in front of the top of your IT band, like that ball is in the change pocket of your jeans. For 3 and 2 and 1. And then roll the ball into your left sideways so it's above your left hip crest and below your left lowest rib. And inhale, puff your belly to the ball, and then exhale, sink down on it. Inhale, puff up. Exhale, sink down. Inhale, puff up. Exhale, sink down. Inhale, puff up. Exhale, sink down. And just keep as much weight as you can on the ball and start to dog cat tilt and see if you can get that ball to navigate its way into the left side waist a little bit more deeply. For 3, 2, and 1. And then step your right foot behind. Turn your navel 45 degrees up to the ceiling and just go side to side, rolling into the side of the back or the back of the side. For 3 and 2 and 1. Take your time, but when you're ready, you feel equal with the other side. Come off the ball, lie on your back, and just notice if that side caught up with the other side. And feel free to just enter into your Shava now, or if you want to roll some other area of your body, go ahead. Up to you.
Take an easy inhale through the nose. Long, slow exhalation out the mouth. Inhaling nose. Sighing out the mouth. Inhaling nose. Let everything go. Rolling over on the right side into the fetal position, taking a moment of gratitude for the miracle of your body, for your strong legs and your strong arms, for the good gift of eyes that see and ears that hear. Such amazing blessings. And grounding left palm into the mat, come gently up to seated, allowing your head to hang until the very end. Just taking a moment in your seated position to notice any changes in the body from the practice, in the release or engagement of the muscle sheath, in the depth of the breathing, or in the quietness of the mind. And then inhaling, the hands up over the head, let the palms touch. Exhaling, thumbs to forehead for generous thoughts, and to the lips for kind speech, and to the heart for clear intentions. Namaste. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week for the last class of this series. Hope you guys have a wonderful week.
Thank you.